This might be the windiest day I've ever tried to film in. What's up guys, Dave Moss Jr. here, and in today's video we're going to talk about one of the most debated topics when it comes to cold plunging and ice baths on the internet, and that is when is the best time and when is the worst time to actually cold plunge. Primarily talking about before or after exercise. There's a lot to talk about and I want to keep this video as short and informative as possible, so let's jump in. Hey, after today's video I want you to take a look at the link down in the description below for coldture. Now coldture is an inflatable, portable, amazing cold plunge that I have sitting right behind me. What's cool about this cold plunge, other than the fact that it's portable, inflatable, and it looks really cool, is it comes with a chiller, and the chiller can get your temperatures of your water continuously down under 40 degrees and keep your water nice and clean. So if you're looking to get yourself a cold plunge, I encourage you at the end of this video to check out the link down in the description below with a discount code that you can use to get yourself a coldture cold plunge. Okay, so how this video is going to work out is I'm going to give you 3 pros and I'm going to give you 3 cons to cold plunging before your exercise, and then I'm going to give you 3 pros and 3 cons to cold plunging after your exercise. Let's go ahead and jump in. All right, you ready? So the first up, we're going to talk about cold plunging before a workout. Pro number 1 is it boosts your alertness. So depending on what time you work out, maybe you work out in the morning, maybe you work out in the afternoon, maybe you work out in the evening. If you get into a cold plunge or cold water before you actually start your exercise, it's going to boost your alertness. It's almost going to give you a similar effect to taking a pre-workout or drinking some caffeine minus the caffeine. And for me, primarily, that's one of the main reasons that I do cold plunge before I work out. Pro number 2 is it reduces inflammation. So if you have any injury or soreness from a workout prior, it's going to help reduce the inflammation and allow you to get back out there and perform just a little bit better. Primarily what a lot of people do is when they ice bath, whether it's before or after exercise, it's to kind of numb the previous pain that they had so that they can get out there and perform at their best. And then pro number 3, it boosts your mental toughness. So basically when you get into cold water, it's a tough thing to do. It's not fun. And if you're somebody who gets up super early in the morning and you work out early in the morning, that takes some mental toughness right there. But if you double down and jumped into cold water before you work out, that's going to just boost your mental toughness. If you're looking at that weight or looking at that workout and you're like, man, this looks like it's going to be a tough one, you've already done something super tough. So getting into cold water before you work out is going to have 3 pretty cool pros. But now let's talk about 3 cons. Con number 1, it's going to limit the warm-up effect. So basically when you start your workout, your exercise, your run or whatever, you're going to warm up. You're going to start moving around. You want to try to heat the body up before you get into the intense exercise, especially if you're a CrossFitter or a hybrid athlete who's doing a lot of high intensity training. And when you get into cold water before your workout, it's going to lower your body temperature and it's going to numb you up a little bit, which might limit your warm-up effects. Sorry if it seems weird. There's so much wind. I hope that you can even hear me. I'm using this little poofy thing and I'm actually holding the camera because the wind has blown my camera over a couple of times. So usually I'm animated, my hands are moving, but I don't want the whole camera to come crashing down again. So we're talking about con number 2, which is potential stiffness. So when you get into cold water, a lot of the blood from your extremities, your arms and your legs, is going to move into your core. And what that does is it basically takes a lot of the body heat out of your limbs, which can cause you to be a little stiff. You're not going to be as lubricated. And once again, that's going to limit your warm-up effect. And it's just going to make the workout just a little bit harder to get into. And that leads to con number 3, which you might see a reduction in your explosiveness and your explosive power. So depending on what style workout you're doing, when you limit the warm-up effects, when you're potentially a little stiff from your cold plunge, you might actually see a reduction in your explosiveness. Now, it doesn't mean you're going to see a reduction in your strength. You actually might, depending on where you live, what time you work out, and all those variables, you might actually feel stronger because you're not going to start sweating and overheating as fast. However, you might see a reduction in your explosiveness. So if you're doing a lot of jumps, high jumps, or you're doing workouts where it does require you to be pretty explosive, cold plunging for a little too long before a workout might be something you don't want to do. So there was 3 pros and there was 3 cons to cold plunging before a workout. Now let's talk about 3 pros and cons to cold plunging after a workout. And this is where some people might get a little opinionated in the comments, which is totally fine. I'd actually love to hear from you. So if you're somebody who cold plunges on a regular basis and you've experimented with cold plunging before and after working out, let me know your experience in the comments below. I'd love to start a little dialogue where everybody can kind of jump in and maybe turn this into a little bit of a Reddit post where people are sharing their actual experience. That's the thing you'll probably notice about me. I'm not a doctor. Nothing that I talk about on my channel is medical advice, but what I share is my actual experiences. I like to truly put myself through the test and see what actually happens, especially when it comes to these controversial topics and these heavily debated topics. And quick breakdown, I'm not the fittest person you'll ever see, but I cold plunge multiple times a day before and after exercising, and I have muscle. So I'm not trying to be Mr. Olympia, be some bodybuilder that can't wipe my butt. However, no offense to anybody out there, however, I am trying to stay functionally fit. I have 4 kids, we're extremely active, and I just don't like pain. So cold plunging helps me reduce that pain and allows me to be there for my kids when they want to go play on the trampoline, jump around, have fun. And also anytime I'm going to the gym or for a run, I feel I feel good. So I just wanted to put that disclaimer out there. So now let's jump into the 3 pros of cold plunging right after a workout. And pro number 1 is it speeds up recovery. Yeah, when you get into a cold plunge or an ice bath right after exercise, it's gonna speed up your recovery. It's gonna make you feel a little bit better, and it's gonna prolong the onset muscle soreness that you're gonna typically get right after strenuous exercise. And that is similar to pro number 2, which is gonna reduce muscle swelling. So just like putting ice on a boo-boo and it's gonna reduce the swelling, when you get into ice after working out, it's also gonna reduce the muscular swelling, which could in turn help you feel like you're recovering faster and feel less pain. And then probably my favorite, pro number 3, is it relaxes the body. When you get into cold water, no matter how strenuous your exercise or how high your heart rate is, when you get into cold water, your heart rate's gonna drop and your body's going to relax. You get into a relaxed state fairly quickly when you get into cold water. And that's why there's so many benefits to getting into cold water that have nothing to do with working out and have everything to do with mental toughness, resilience, dealing with anxiety, depression, things like that. And that's why so many people are turning to cold water therapy so they can get off of pills and all that other junk. Once again, not a doctor, not medical advice, do your own research, make your own decisions, but so many people are experiencing incredible benefits to getting into cold water when it comes to the mental health. And to wrap up pro number 3, it helps you relax your body, and that's why so many people are doing it. Well, there's 3 pros to getting into cold water after workout. Let's talk about 3 cons, reasons you might not want to jump into the cold water after a workout. Con number 1 is it's going to delay muscle repair. Yes, as it makes you relax and it makes you feel good and it reduces inflammation, it's also going to prolong and reduce muscle repair, which when you are exercising, if you're exercising for muscle growth, the whole point is to break down your muscle so that it then can naturally repair itself, which becomes stronger. When you get into cold water, it's going to reduce the muscle repair cycle, or at least delay it. Which leads me to con number 2, it's gonna impact muscle growth. Kind of the same story. If you're delaying the muscle repair, you're going to delay and reduce your muscular growth. Now, once again, kind of like regurgitating what I said earlier, is if your goal is to be on stage, Mr. Olympia, the biggest muscles in the world, hey, ice baths and cold plunges may not be a big part of your routine. It just may not be. But if you're like me and you want to be functionally fit and you want to feel good all the time and you want to have some muscle and you want to feel less pain, it might be really good for you. Just know that it is, and they have a lot of studies on it, it is going to impact your muscle growth. It's not going to eliminate it, it's just going to delay it, reduce it, and impact it. And then con number 3, we're gonna wrap it up with, obviously, there's a reduction in your body temperature. So after a workout, your body temperature is pretty much high, you're probably sweating, you're feeling real good, and then as soon as you get into that cold water, your body temperature is gonna drop, your heart rate's gonna drop. Basically, everything you just did to produce growth hormone and all the different hormones that are released in your body and protein synthesis and all those wonderful things that cause you to get stronger and feel great, you're going to pretty much put a stop to it as soon as you get into cold water. Plus, you're gonna lower your body temperature, which depending on where you live and depending on your goals, that could be a good thing or it really could be a bad thing. And there we pretty much have it. We talked about 3 pros and 3 cons to getting into cold water before a workout. Then we talked about 3 pros and 3 cons to getting in cold water after a workout. And I just want to throw out some encouragement to you. If you have access to cold water, if you have a cold plunge at your house or an ice bath or cold water behind your house or access to cold water at any rate, I would encourage you to just experiment a little bit with it. The cool thing is everything is pretty much habitual. If you get into cold water after one workout, it's not gonna eliminate all of your muscle for the rest of your life. It's something that you can experiment with. It's something that you can check out and try out and see how it makes you feel. And here's a couple free tips to anybody who has made it this far in the video. So we talked about when to cold plunge before and after a workout. What about how long and what temperature you should cold plunge? And you know, because I feel like there's so much bad information out there where we're watching a lot of celebrities and influencers get into icy cold water for 20 minutes. That's not necessary. That's not what you need to do. You're gonna, or you may, it just depends on you. We're all different, right? So you gotta listen to your body and you gotta know what you like and you gotta know what you're looking for and what your goals are. For me, I cold plunge multiple times every single day and getting into 50-degree water. 50 degrees might sound hot, right? But getting into 50-degree water for 2.5, 3 minutes, I feel incredible. I can get into freezing cold 27-degree water for 3 minutes, but I don't feel incredible when I get out. I just don't. I feel like I've crossed the line of feeling really, really good and getting potentially dangerous. So just keep that in the back of your mind. If you're somebody who's interested in getting into cold plunging on a regular basis, maybe you want to purchase a cold plunge or just start taking a cold shower, don't try to beat Joe Rogan. Don't try to beat people that you see out there just because you follow somebody. Doesn't mean that's the only protocol that works. Try some different temperatures, try some different times, with the goal being at least 30 seconds. I know some people are gonna be like, David, you gotta be in there longer. Yes, I agree, but when you're first starting out, if I have people come over and jump into my cold plunge, I want them to at least stay in there for 30 seconds. But if it's torturing them, I don't want it to get uncomfortable to where they never want to do it again. So just keep it in the back of your mind, listen to your body, do what makes you feel the best, and enjoy it, right? This is supposed to be an enjoyable experience. So there we have it, my friends. I hope this video was a little educational. Maybe you picked up something that might help you make a decision on when's the best time for you to cold plunge. Once again, if you want to get yourself a cold plunge, I recommend Coldture. They make a really great cold plunge, and I'll have a link and discount code down in the description below. Just so you know, discount code is Moss, my last name, M-A-U-S. You can plug that in, it'll save you some money, which is nice. And if you have any questions, pop them down in the comments below, or if you don't have the ability to do that, reach out to me on Instagram. It's at dmossjr. I'm very engaged with people on Instagram. I love helping people answer their questions and find the best things for themselves. And if you do have the ability to subscribe to the channel, please do so. It really means a lot to me. I'm trying to hit 100,000 subscribers. It's a goal I have. I'm almost to 50,000, which is incredible. And thank you to every single person who subscribes. If you could share this video with a friend who maybe this is a controversial topic, something that they want to learn a little bit more about, sharing this video, liking this video, subscribing. YouTube sees that and they're like, hey, this guy doesn't suck. His videos don't suck. Let's show it to more people. And that really means the world to me. But other than that, I appreciate you for watching. I hope you have a great day. I'll see you on the next video, my friends, and God bless. And hey, before you go, I want you to check out my full review on the Coldture cold plunge. I'm gonna pop that video up right here. I go over how to set it up, which is super simple, how to use it, and all the cool features that it has. So that video is gonna pop up right here. Go ahead and click on that video, and I'll see you on the next one.